Welcome into the Go Fish pregame show. Colby Cook, Spencer Pattison, excited to be here for yet another game. It's an away game tonight. Well, it's against the same team that we played last night, the Wilson Tobs, a 6-2 victory over the Tobs last night that keeps the Marlins in the top of the Coastal Plain League East Division.
Yeah, the home and home, and look, the East is a beast this year. The East is far and away, a more complete division, I would say, than the West, and even taking bias out of it, the East teams are just, this is just wild what these East teams are doing in terms of record, in terms of quality of play, and in terms of just kind of going after each other in the league and how close this is. But as we said last night on the pregame show, and the postgame show, this is a very pivotal game because coming into yesterday's play, the Marlins were only 1 up on the Tobs. Now they're 2. And now, yes, you don't have to win this one, but you want to win this one because, number one, it's a game. You want to win every game, and we'll hear Sam Carroll talk about that a little bit later, as he always does. But pushes your lead up to 3 games, so then in order to win the division in the first half, you only have to win 1 of the next 4. That's very, very important because I'm not saying you're not going to win all those games, but it kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off, and you can kind of relax a little bit and play your best baseball.
Yeah, and both these teams have 4 games remaining, which means both of them have a doubleheader on Friday. The Marlins take on the Tri-City Chili Peppers, who are 10-8, and the Wilson Tobs take on the Sharks, who are also 10-8.
Yeah, and we mentioned this last night as well. It's just kind of weird how the parity of the schedule has played out. You're playing, the exact same number of games against teams with the same record. It's almost scripted. It feels scripted. But these Wilson Tobs and the Morehead City Marlins are locked in. And like we said, you definitely don't want to have to stop playing the second half of the season because this team won't. They won't. They are going to keep their foot on the gas, and they very well could do what they did last year and win both halves. However, it is worth noting that locking down the first half is very important because that does get you an automatic bid into the 2-team playoff in the East come August.
Very important game tonight, like we've said many times. And who's going to get the start? Well, it's going to be Nick McCollum out of Georgia Southwestern State. Very excited to see him on the mound. He's been a fantastic pitcher, pitching 12 innings so far this season in 4 games, 2 starts, a 3 ERA, and 15 strikeouts.
Yeah, and he's got a nasty, nasty slider to go with that fastball. McCollum has a really good weapon. It's not quite Gamlin's slider, but it's a really good wipeout, just take care of me pitch. It's really good. McCollum has looked very good with fastball command recently as well. So it'll be interesting to see him get back out for another start. He's come out of the bullpen a couple times since we've seen him start last. So it'll be interesting to see him get the nod on the bump tonight.
Last time we were in Wilson, the Marlins, they struggled a bit, but a very, very good outing from the Tobs. It was an 8-4 game, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in Wilson. But for now, we'll talk to the head coach, Sam Carroll, for a pregame interview.
Colby Cook with the head man Sam Carroll after a convincing 6-2 win last night over the Wilson Tobs. It was kind of a swing game, Coach. 1 game lead in the standings, now increased to 2, but you don't want to take your foot off the gas here with the first half of the East in play. What do you expect from the boys tonight?
Guys will come out. They'll be ready to play. We talked about it before the game yesterday. These final 5 games, it's like a 5-game pod for us, and we got game 1 yesterday, and now they're going to be ready to go for game 2 today.
Nick McCollum will get the start on the mound tonight. He's come out of the bullpen his last couple appearances. What do you expect to see from him coming out tonight?
I expect him to fill up the zone, just like our other guys have been doing. Collins threw a good game last night. We're expecting McCollum to come out and fill up the zone and give us an opportunity later on.
And of course, defense has been really, really integral, especially in this series with the Tobs because their hitting has been spectacular. Just overall game plan, what can you expect to see tonight?
Just a group of guys with us that's going to come out. We really just worry about ourselves, just to come out there and play hard and be ready to go and finish this first half off correctly.
So, up 2 games in the standings. The Marlins try to make it 3 against the second-place Tobs. and secure their place with a first-half victory in the East. Coach, thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for everything. Appreciate all that you do.
The Marlins 2 games ahead in the standings against the Wilson Tobs. Well, what do they need to do tonight, Colby?
Looking to make it 3, but, as you heard Sam Carroll say, just keep doing what we're doing, trust the process. I mean, he gives you pretty much the same answers every interview, but that's really the mark of a good manager. That's a guy that knows, what he's doing. He knows his process. He knows to trust his process. And, well, wouldn't you look at that? It's working, and it's working to perfection. So they need to go in here and just play fundamental baseball. Last time out in Fleming Stadium, it was the most complete game, arguably, against a Marlins team that we've seen this year. Pitching was there, hitting was there, defense was there. And yes, the Marlins' potent offense still put up 4 runs, but they got outmatched in almost every facet of the game. So what you have to do in here tonight is control the controllables, try to jump out to an early lead like they did last night, because those 5 runs in the first 2 innings were vitally important. Now, you do that again, that's a winning formula, but you got to control the controllables and, lock it down. So just play your best baseball, and we'll see what happens.
As long as the Marlins win tonight, all they have to do is win 1 of the last 3 games to clinch that playoff spot. So tonight will be a very big game against one of the best teams in the Coastal Plain League. Well, thank you for sticking with us here on the Go Fish pregame show. Colby Cook, Spencer Pattison, join us on Mixlr and enjoy the game.